Hello and welcome to another episode of Ordinary Working Joe. Today we're talking to Steve Law, local business owner, rugby coach and all-round good egg. Hello Steve, you okay?
Great Rob, couldn't be better.
Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Steve Law, all-round good egg.
What do you do for work?
I got two companies, a company called SIB Air Conditioning and a company called SIB Solutions. Obviously the air conditioning is air conditioning, self-explanatory. The solutions is with Amy, which facilitate for HMP prisons, and I facilitate for Amy on their framework.
Okay, and you do lots of maintenance and all sorts for them, don't you?
Anything from build a new gym to unblock a drain with the prisons. Fundamentally, I think the theory of it is instead of Amy trying to deal with 500,000 contractors, you work very hard, get on their framework, and they'll deal with 5,000 contractors.
Yeah.
And it'll just all be very small markups.
But it's everything from reactive maintenance, you said?
Everything, yeah.
To refurbishment
Projects, yeah.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, everything. And the SIB stands for Still in Business. And it was
Is that true?
Yeah, that's true. It was an old boss of mine had a number plate SIB 001, and I asked him one day what it was for. He said, "Still in business, Steve." And I just thought it was quite quirky.
Do you end up with a number plate?
No. And he did have and he had a Bentley. Yeah.
When did you realise then, early on in your years, that it was time to go on your own? What were you doing at the time? And how did that circumstance come into your head?
It was actually put into my head. I left school, I went into British Coal, NCB, I was in a coalman, and got made redundant. And a friend of mine was an engineer for a company called JCW, go back to the number plate in the car, the owner of it. But he was an head engineer, and he took me on as his engineer's mate in air conditioning, and I'd done that for a number of years. And then another good friend of mine, so I was pretty fortunate, who had a very established air conditioning business, had service and maintenance contracts. This is how long ago it was, with Blockbusters and things like that, and Starbucks. And he just come to me and said, "There's the vehicle, there's the tools, there's the area, off you go." And I started a little bit. He said, "Just do it." And he pretty much set me on my way.
Okay, and that got you your big start on your own, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
But with the support of someone you knew already, yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of support. I think he regretted it after a while, because I wasn't the best air conditioning engineer, that's for sure. I was better at carrying coal.
You've stayed friends, though?
Oh, we're still best of friends.
Yeah. And for how many years?
Oh, bloody hell.
Dread to think.
Yeah, too many.
Yeah, okay.
Many. Godfather to all his children, and yeah.
And he's done all right out of air conditioning and the industry in general?
Yeah, he's done all right, yeah. He was, very clever man.
You managed to sell a fairly large company a couple of years ago?
Fairly large, yeah. But he'd be another story for another day, because he'd have a much bigger story than me. What a human being that achieves something from nothing.
So he's your true entrepreneurial spirit, is he? He's one of them?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And, I remember at the time where he had nothing and he'd work 20 hours a day, I'd want to work 6.
Yeah.
So, good on him.
Yeah, I get your point, yeah. And absolutely good on him, yeah.
Yeah.
Because what you were telling me earlier, which is a little bit private, we don't want to say that on you.
Yeah.
He had a hard upbringing, an early start in life. So yeah, we don't want to... Yeah. It's good then that people see the value in their own work, isn't it?
Yeah.
And push that forward.
Well, he was from outside the area, and he met his wife, who was a very good friend of mine, current wife and only wife. And, didn't have a lot, but she was a big support for him at the start, but very clever man that done really, really well for himself.
So, what lessons have you learned through business?
It's not easy, and that's for sure. People think it's easy and they see the good things, but they don't see the difficult things of, the stress and dealing with people and their unpredictability. And you've got things like cash flow. People see, I don't know, let's say you've got 2 vans and then you've got 20 vans. All they don't realise is sometimes it's not about being turnover, it's about profit. And sometimes that cash flow is such a worry for people. Yeah,
and it reminds me of a conversation we had recently with Kurt, where you can win the work, you can do a good job, you can supply the materials and the labour and all the logistics that go with it, and then you don't get paid.
Yeah, you don't get paid on time, or they want to knock you for something which is not really down to you, and yeah, there's loads of pitfalls in it. But you know, there's loads of positives in it as well.
Yeah, of course there is.
Obviously.
Yeah, because there's lots of rewards to it.
Yeah,
like you said, it's sort of people see what you've got now after
Yeah.
all these years of work and everything else, and it reminds me of something I think Jimmy Carr said. People see the result and want the result, but they don't want the journey to get there.
Yeah. Yeah, very much so.
Because it ain't easy, is it, starting on your own?
No, it's not easy. It's not easy, even when you're pretty established. It's easier for some. It all depends, I should imagine, what business you're in and what industry you're in, or how much profit is in it and stuff like that. But no, it's not. The start is always the most difficult, and then maintaining it, and you've got to have a bit of luck. And I was very fortunate. Most of my life was, you know, even the getting involved with Amy and with SIB Solutions come through a friend who was in a position of influence. I had to have the right criteria and do the right things and get the right qualifications, but without him, you know, being in that position, I probably would have never even started that business.
Yeah,
Because there was an opening for it, and he said, well, just why didn't you do that? And I was in that position with SIB Air Conditioning that I could, and we did, I mean, so.
And it is one of those things, isn't it, where there is a lot of luck involved, but you have to be able to recognise that opportunity is there and grasp it, isn't it?
Yeah, and yeah, you do. And then you've got to make sure you deliver the product and you give them the service, and you know, the price is always competitive, and well, if you're lucky, it's not competitive, it's over the top, but that's not happen very often.
They're
that's
really
not
rare.
Very often at all.
Really rare.
Yeah, especially this day and age. But yeah, it's nothing's easy, innit?
No, but it's worth it in the end.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. And I suppose why I'm asking that is what I'm trying to prove is that even though construction is considered a sort of, I don't know, lowly place to work, you can still make a good living out of the construction industry. Whether it be maintenance or refurbishments or building from scratch, there is a good living to be made for those that didn't go to college and university and everything else. There's opportunities, is what I'm trying to prove.
If you've got something about you, and you've got a work ethic, and you've got some people skills and understanding of what's right and what's wrong, you know, and some transparency and being honest and trustworthy, all these things are massive, I mean. Especially if you're starting the journey, because when someone don't trust you or
the relationship is over. Yeah.
So if the individual got something about them, no matter what age you're at, you usually can see it.
Yeah. I'd agree with that. If you had to go, you could go back and give your younger self a bit of advice. What would it be?
Work 20 hours instead of 6 a day. I think I would have invested and sorted my infrastructure out and a bit earlier than I did. I mean, because at the start you try to do everything yourself, and
well, you've got no choice, have you? Because at the start you are very much on your own.
Even after the start, then probably didn't want to let anyone else take responsibility for things, and it gets to a point where if you grow in, you know, you got to, and I probably would have done that a bit quicker and trusted a few more people a bit quicker than I did to make my life a little bit easier.
It seems to be a common theme developing is pull the trigger early.
Yeah.
And then find the right support mechanisms then to support you through that. That seems to be the common theme.
Yeah.
Look for those areas of your weakness, whether it's admin or credit control or sales or whatever, and then bring people in to support those bits.
So that took me a while to do that,
Yeah.
because I was trying to do it all myself.
Yeah.
So because I didn't want to let them reins go, and it was a long time ago I done it, and it just freed you up to do other things, the important things, deal with your clients, make sure the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted on specific things. So yeah, I would have done that a bit earlier.
Yeah, okay. And again, a common theme of recognizing those, you're not strong in those areas, so delegating them.
Yeah.
And then focusing on those things that you are good at. Like yourself, you are a people person. I know that because I've known you a few years now.
Yeah.
And I relate a lot of that in your sort of sports career, let's call it that.
Yeah.
And you've been a coach for how long?
25 years.
Yeah, it's a long
24
time.
24 years, yeah.
And been reasonably successful at that too.
Yeah. At 16, went straight into NCB.
Yeah.
You know,
it can be an intimidating atmosphere, something like
so
that.
the actual, you go to the pit bars for the first time, but but the actual people you meet, you had no chance of not being respectful and things like that. It was a real good upbringing for me. And then the sport, playing sport, it just gives you a grounding and friendship as well. And then going on to coach it, you just learn people's skills and management. And look, you're always still learning, I believe that. And some people are better than others. But it definitely sets you in the right direction of when you're dealing with your employees. It's very similar trades with the sportsman, because there's probably a little bit more emotion in sport.
Yeah.
So you're dealing with more emotion, so you can relate that back, because your employees are doing it for their financial gain and their livelihood. But sport, no matter how much they get paid, there's still more emotion in it.
Yeah, okay, because there's more pride in it.
Well,
about their performance.
Yeah, it's pride. They're representing other people. It's
There's
team.
a lot of crossover there, though, isn't
There's lots of crossover, and I learned a lot. I learned a lot in sport. I was sport before business.
Yeah.
So I learned a lot through sport before I got to business.
Okay, all right. So is there a lot of crossover then, in your opinion? That performance element in sport and performance element in work?
Yeah, I think so. But then it comes down to the individuals, because, I know lots of different ways of coaching and lots of different ways of running companies, and I don't think there's really a right way. There might be a wrong way, but I don't think it's really a right way. And it all depends on the individual that's delivering it. Because if you're someone trying to deliver in a different way because you've seen someone else do it, but you're not that person, it don't work. I've learned that.
So you've got your own approach?
Yeah, absolutely.
And what is that? Are you more of a sit down and talk to someone in a soft voice and those calm tones, or are you more of a shouter?
I don't shout as much anymore, but I don't sit down with calm, dulcet tones, no. Pretty much they do as they're told, and we'll have debate and dialogue with it. But if we get to a point where, no, this is what's happening. I'm autocratic in my business and in coaching, not democratic, more autocratic. Yeah. Okay. Got to be democratic, or, we just been...
Yeah, there's ways to deal with people. But your general go-to...
You treat them all, well, fairly. I don't think you can treat everyone the same. So there'll be different age profiles, there'll be different abilities in work and sport. But you treat them all fairly. I try to treat them all to the point of how I would like to be treated. Communication is hugely important, because they might not like you, might like you as a boss or a coach. They might really like you. They might love you. They might hate you. If they respect you,
that's the key.
They'll work and they'll play.
Yeah.
So that's what I try to do, is treat them fairly, but there's a line.
Yeah. Okay. Of course. Yeah. You can sense in someone that they don't think a great deal of you, but if they respect what you do professionally, then okay, that'll do.
Yeah, 100%, that'll do.
As long as they're performing, that's what you need out of them.
That's it. Yeah. As long as they're doing their work, or they're performing, getting a performance on a rugby field, football field, whatever you're involved with.
What do you see as the biggest challenges to the business in the coming years? And it's not your divorce settlement, like you said earlier.
No, that's my personal challenge. That is that settlement. I got no real intention of expanding in my business. I'm not at that point. I'm past that point. I work to live, not live to work.
Yeah, you're looking to slow down a little bit. Right?
Well, yeah, or definitely not expand. SIB air conditioning is. I've had lots and lots of clients for a long time, and we do lots of industrial work. That's pretty much most years, and the same with the prisons. But it all depends on their budgets. It all depends on the bigger economy thing, who's spending what, and so sometimes they might be a little bit slow. By the end of the year, I always seem to think, in my businesses, at the end, the spend is pretty much the same. My turnover is not far away, pretty every year.
Yeah, and as much as we want to remain apolitical here, there's a lot of promises to increase the budgets for the prison service. So do you think that would have a positive effect on you in the future?
Oh yeah, the more money they got to spend, the more opportunity you got to tender, or maybe not the reactive stuff, but the projects and stuff like that. The more money they got to spend, and in any budget, they got to spend it.
Yeah.
If they're given to it, they got to spend it.
Yeah,
so
generally
they
speaking,
do more. Yeah. I'm not quite sure I want to do more though. If I'm offered it or not.
And that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your mate setting up a couple of years ago. I think you brought the retirement plan closer, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. I wish. Yeah, it would have been nice. That's for sure.
This is the trouble, see, when you spend half your year in Ibiza in your mate's house. Look what it's doing to you, Steve.
It's a nice house.
It's not doing you any favours.
It's a very nice house. It's a bit more than a house, that's for sure.
The next question, is there any specific market you were targeting? It sounds to me like that is a no.
It's a definite
You are
no.
not targeting anything specific.
No more qualifications for me. I'm qualified to the hilt, as you know. No, I'm not targeting any, no.
So it's just maintaining what you've already got as an existing client book.
Yeah, absolutely. I've had lots of boys or men now who work for me for a long time. Most of them started in the air conditioning and some have crossed over into both companies and trying to make sure they have got a future and some stability as well.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
For their longevity.
And how many are there regularly working?
7, 8. About 8 probably, regularly, every day of the week.
Yeah.
And then we'll just bring contractors in as and when on projects, mostly in the prisons.
Yeah, and you would sub that then, or bring in labour only subcontractors?
No, you subcontract it, and it's like your infrastructure is pretty much, they charge you £1, I'll charge the government £1.5, the government charge, Amy £1.5, Amy charge the government £1.50, and it's all paying for your infrastructure and your knowledge and stuff like that.
And you're project managing more than anything else then?
Yeah, so you project manage your contractors and you deal with Amy, and Amy deal with HMP then.
Yeah, okay.
But the air conditioning is a different ballgame. That's all there's far more to that because it's all around the country, that is, with all these jobs. But
when you say Amy, and that's a really big outfit,
yeah.
You mean the facilities management side rather than the project side, or is it both?
There's both. They're both in the same business, but they're both Amy projects and Amy facilities. Will you'll deal with different people, but it's called Amy Community.
Ah, right, okay.
That's what it's called, and so the title is Amy Community, and they're both involved in that for the prisons.
Yeah.
Like it's other things. There's loads of other opportunities you can get into once you're into HMP, but as I said.
And maybe that it's sort of has been brought together, as you say, community, because that allows them to draw on other resources, maybe within the company structure.
Don't know. To be honest with you, don't know. I haven't asked. Never even thought about it, so I wouldn't know. God,
if you were any more inside your shell, you'd be a tortoise, wouldn't you? Bless
well,
you.
I don't know. I can't tell you what I don't know.
Oh, I'm not interested in that.
I'm not interested. Pay my invoice, do the job.
In the past, then, how have you managed change in the company?
Change is difficult unless you're implementing it yourself.
Yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it?
It's just hard. You just got to get through it, haven't you? So anything specific? Do you
mean? I suppose the most recent one that would have affected you is the CDM regs. So there's a huge now raft of paper with regards to sort of safety legislation because you work in that construction and maintenance environment.
What is CDM? What does that mean? Like, but I do know what you mean now. I got it now.
You know what I mean. It's just I write it bloody for you.
I think you sent me an email a couple of months ago about it, and I replied, thanks.
Yes. Typical one-word reply to my long-winded essays about how to guard yourself against sort of breaking the law. Yes.
No, all the red tape and all the stuff that, that is part of your business is more of it, isn't it? There's far more
There's
of
a
it.
lot more of it, yeah. And another one now that's just sort of really being enforced is the Building Safety Act.
Yeah.
Which I think will probably affect you a bit because prisons, by their nature, are residential.
Yeah.
So I think that may well come into your work from Amy. It will be Amy-led, and I think they're probably covering a lot of it at the minute.
I was going to say, what's the fee for that, Rob?
It'll be a lot.
I'm sure it'll be worth it.
It'll be a lot. Someone's got to put petrol in that car, Steve.
I know, buddy, I know.
I think I like this question. It's my last question. It always is. How do you manage conflict in the business?
In my business with people I employ, the buck stops with me, simple as. I listen to them, as I said, you've got to have that empathy for them, but fundamentally if they're wrong, they're wrong. And the buck stops me, I'll make all decisions. And if it's something which I'm not happy with, I'll deal with it appropriately. The clients are a bit different. You've got to have, they really, all depends on the client, all depends how much you want to work. Yeah. I got good relationships with nearly all my clients, and we have had that ups and downs. And yet again, if my boys have made a mistake and there's counter charges and it's justified, just get on with it. And if not, I will fight their corner and my corner. And if I'm right, until either we can't work together or it gets resolved. Because, I'm past appeasing clients if they're wrong.
Okay. So sort of you haven't had to go down sort of that arbitration route ever with a client? You haven't gone that far?
I'm never had to do that.
And that's a good thing, isn't it?
Because it means comes back to people. And
you're happy to talk it out. Yeah,
people,
exactly.
And we've had loads of counter charges in the past which are justified over a long period of time, and we've had some which I've said, hang on now, no chance. And you go and discuss it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you have your email trail. It's another thing I learned a long time ago. Always have an email trail, got caught.
If it ain't written down, it didn't happen.
Yeah, I'll do that. Been like, that's been X amount. Oh no. Yeah, don't do that. It
is a lesson it takes some people a long time to learn, but everyone learns it eventually.
In the end, absolutely, yeah.
It's great that someone will ring you and say, can you do whilst you're on that job? And you say, yeah, tell me in writing.
Yeah, well that's all I can know, everything.
Yeah.
Even with clients who are friends.
You can have a great relationship with someone, but it can still go tits up.
Yeah, agreed.
Because they've got a boss.
Yeah.
And if they get put under the cosh, maybe they'll throw you under the bus.
Yeah. Well, that's right, Matt. But and if they do, I just won't. It's not where I am in my life, and I just won't tolerate it. I'll just move on to me. So but with the employees and the rugby players, if you want to come back to that, I mean, you get listened to, but there it is. There's the facts. So do it or don't do it. And if you don't want to do it, I'll get someone else to do it. Yeah.
Okay, I get that. Yeah, in sport that's probably a little bit easier.
Yeah.
But with an employee, I mean, it's one of those things where I always have in the back of my head, you are effectively paying this person's mortgage and bills and everything else. They rely on you for money.
Yeah.
So I try and see it from their side as much as I possibly can.
Yeah.
Is that something?
100%. And hopefully, lots of the people that work for me have been there a long, long time. So that shows that we work it out in the end. I mean. And
if you need to have those awkward conversations, how would you approach that? Is that so you say, come in the office and have a chat?
Oh yeah.
And say, we've got to have a difficult conversation, and then.
Well, it's just fact.
Out with the issues.
Yes, that's it. It's like, look, whatever the detail is, you just better off, and it's just, face to face, get it done, and if you can't resolve it, you just part ways, isn't it? I
had a friend who told me a while ago. He said, I like to do it in a shit sandwich, so we get good news and bad news and good news. So we deal with the problem in the centre.
Yeah. Well, I just deal with good news and bad news as and when it comes. The business is not huge now. I mean, it's downsized from what it was, employees and stuff like that. So it is easier now.
It's not small.
No, it's not small. I know that. But
it's more manageable, is what you're thinking, is it?
Right, much more manageable. So, and it's far more longevity with the people I've been working with and for. So you do build relationships. So it is easier to deal with the facts and the honesty and the transparency, and it's like And the longer they're there, the longer you like to think there's more trust, there's more respect, and it works both ways.
Now, thinking about the coaching for a second, you went up to a level of, you described it as semi-professional, didn't you?
Yeah.
Is it a mindset thing then? Is it that you are looking to slow down a bit, that you've come back down to a more local level now?
No, not really. I was in semi-professional rugby from the inception of the Premiership, and I was in that for, 22 years. It's 7 years with Cardiff. Most of my time was with Bedwas, this local club, and then last season I didn't do anything. Wasn't totally my choice. It was a business thing as well, with Cardiff Blues going to Cardiff Rugby and all the internal stuff going on. So
they've had a lot of turmoil, haven't they? Welsh Rugby is.
There was lots of things going on, which really I was like, I can't really adhere to that. But so it was more than pushed me, and it was a mutual agreement. And I had a year off, and I thought, I'm done. I mean, long time coaching, but nah, there's a big hole in my life it was. And
you missed it?
Yeah, terribly. And just went back to the local club, which I'd been a long time, and I at the decent level, the championship, really. We're trying to get them to the Premiership, which is the step below this new SRC, which I don't know how that's going to work. But, you know, playing against all your Pontypridd, your Nice and all these games, even though Bedford's a little village club, but they've done well over the years, and they were in our Premiership for 14 years, I think, which was a semi-professional environment. So, and it's literally around the corner, and all my mates are there, and my social life, and so there's a positive side to it as well.
So you miss the social and sort of camaraderie of it almost, is it?
Yeah. Yeah, you get that elsewhere, but when you're travelling and stuff like that, and your long-term friends are not there, I mean, so all my all the boys that's going away, or the men that's going away tomorrow are all there.
Oh yeah, this is your weekend away.
Yeah,
your escape for the weekend.
Yeah, well, there's no rugby, is there? Yeah, so no rugby on the weekend. So yeah, so it was just convenient, local, and
oh yeah, of course, yeah, because your sort of club rugby level shuts down, doesn't it, in this international season?
Yeah, not all of it. You know, there is fixtures, but you know the rule of thumb is if they're playing at 2:30 on a Saturday, you either got to play on a Friday because you can't play on a Saturday. If they're playing at 6 o'clock, I think it's like a 4-hour window that you can play, or 3-hour window you can play before.
Rules to everything now.
Well,
people like me.
Well, in England and places like that, because they got so many participating, they just play.
Oh, right, okay.
It don't affect the television ratings. It don't affect the people going to watch the game. But in Wales, you know, it would.
Right, okay. And it's just a Jolly Boys weekend, basically, is it?
Yeah, a bit of golf.
This weekend?
I mean, we'll have a bit of cultured golf on Friday.
You're an old man now, you know that, don't you?
Yeah, that's fine. I'll have a trolley and I'll have my mitts on and my bobble hat. It'll be fine.
I hope he's warmer than he was this morning.
I'm not sure about that, but it'll keep us out of the pub for a while, won't it?
Well, look, I hope you enjoyed the weekend.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I genuinely appreciate you coming in. Thank you. It's been fascinating.
Thank you.
Cheers, Steve.
Cheers, Rob.
Thank you. That concludes another episode of Ordinary Working Joe. Thanks for watching, listening, and we'll see you again soon. Ta.